Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to I Think. So check it out. In my last video, I was letting y'all know that the Chinese people here are kind of racist, right? I told you that they are more so racist to the Africans more than they are to the black Africans. At least that's here in China. I know things in America are a little bit different, but right now, for now, I'm here in China getting to know these Chinese people a little bit better. So I've had a few conversations with some Chinese people, and I've asked them specifically, why is it that their culture doesn't seem to get along with the Africans very much? In my last video, I told you that they really like and respect the black Americans, but they really don't like the black Africans. And I asked, why is this? And what I was told by multiple Chinese people was this. They say that in their culture, it's not just about African people, but in their culture, they associate darker skin with poverty. So if you see Chinese people, even in America, you might see them walking around in the sun with the umbrellas. That's because they want to keep their skin as white as possible. They think that the darker you are, like if you're even white and tanned, or if you're Chinese with the tan, it shows that you've been out in the sun. They equate being out in the sun with physical labor, whereas the people who have whiter skin would spend most of their time indoors historically, showing that they come from more wealthier families. So in the Chinese culture, they associate wealth with lighter skin. Then when you look at what's going on, so it makes sense. I'm not justifying racism. There's definitely racism, is what it is. But this is their explanation of how this racism came to be. It's because they associate darker skin with poverty and lighter skin with wealth. Even not only just amongst African people, but even amongst themselves. If Chinese people, like let's say a Chinese woman goes to the beach and gets tan, when she gets home, her mom or her auntie will yell at her like, "Look how dark your skin is getting." They take it personally themselves. If their own skin gets dark, it's not just about race, like, oh, you're African. It's also about their own personal skin. They just associate, period. Darker skin equals poverty. They don't like it. This is definitely a form of racism. It's deeply ingrained in their culture. So that leads to the next question. Okay, if you associate darker skin with poverty, and then the question comes, why is it that you all respect black Americans and you don't respect the black Africans? And from what this is a conversation that I've had multiple times with multiple different Chinese people, men and women. From what I've been told, it's because, first of all, I told you in my last video, they associate America with the greatest country on earth. They say America, they call it in Chinese, Mei Goa. Mei means pretty or beautiful. Mei means beautiful. Goa means country, right? So beautiful country, Mei Goa. They associate America with being the best country. So even though you're black from America, just because you're from America, they would put you above the black people from Africa. This is also has to do with the media. In the media, when they see black Americans, what do they see? They see our rappers, they see our singers, they see our athletes. They associate these people with wealth and athleticism. Whereas when you see Africans, what do they see? They see poverty, they see begging, homelessness, starvation, right? So this further strengthens their perception. This further strengthens their perception of darker skin being associated with poverty, lighter skin being dealing with wealth, and the wealth gap between African Americans and Africans on the continent of Africa. All right. So, like I said, this is not at all to justify the racism coming from the Chinese people. I think it's ridiculous. I got to deal with them with a bit of distance. It's like a gap between us. But I'm here and I'm trying to learn the culture. I'm learning the language, things of that nature. So while I'm here, it's only right I be respectful and I relay back to y'all the things that I'm learning. So this is, trying to explain to y'all why it is that the Chinese people are racist against the black people. My last video, I also let y'all know that the way they're harassing the Nigerians isn't because they think that the Nigerians are bringing the coronavirus into the country per se. It's more so that they are refusing to try the Chinese vaccines. I don't know if y'all saw the French people over there in France. They said that they're trying to test the vaccines on the Africans. Africa has got to look out because I think that they are going to be the guinea pigs for a lot of these vaccines. Not that vaccines are necessarily a bad thing. Vaccines can be a good thing, but I wouldn't want to be first. I don't want to be the guinea pig. I don't want to be the one getting tested on. We saw what happened in Tuskegee with all that. Don't try me. Come to me when the vaccine is ready and it has been tested and perfected. Don't try the vaccine off on me and see what the side effects are. So Africans really got to look out for what's going to be coming to their continent. And I say that especially knowing that now the Cameroons have already agreed. The Cameroons have already agreed to allow their citizens to be tested on as far as the vaccines. They've already agreed to let the vaccines be tested in Cameroons. So these African leaders, man, y'all African brothers, y'all got to get them in shape, because these African leaders are not protecting y'all at all. And that's another conversation for another day. Peace. 'Cause that's what I think.